Welcome to Style and Beauty with Yolanda. Today we're very excited because we have with us a team of professional hairstylists and makeup artists who bring the salon to you for your special occasion. And it's Eye for Beauty and our wonderful, talented stylist, Jaime. Let's hear from you.
Hi, how are you guys? We're here today, we're very excited, and what we have to offer is hair and makeup on location for any special event, whether it be your wedding or you're going out on a night on the town, a fashion show, anything basically that you leave the house for that you need to be dolled up for. We travel to you on location. I have a great staff of girls that do full hair and full makeup, and we are on the cutting edge of the industry as far as fashion goes. We stay up to date on styles and make sure that we're putting our best foot forward to make you look the best you can. And I have Maya here with me as well, and she's a stylist that works for me. And we have Deanna and Sarah over here that are showing off some of the stuff that we can do. They're doing a runway look right now. Deanna's applying some makeup to Sarah.
Fantastic. Now, for those of the girls out there that are so concerned about wearing false eyelashes, I don't want to have my makeup done, I'm not going to look like me, talk about that a little bit. Do they come to you first for a trial, or do they just come?
Well, there's people are different. Everybody's different, and for the people that don't wear that much makeup, there's definitely more of a concern there of not looking like themselves, and when they look in the mirror, they do want to have their best foot forward, but the most important thing is that when someone looks at themselves, they feel like themselves.
Exactly.
Whether or not I think they look pretty or not, that's not the point. Like, they need to feel comfortable in their own skin.
Exactly.
So when working with someone that's natural, the best thing I always say is to start small, because anything is going to be more of a transition to them than anything else. So, you start light and you add on. You build, you let them get comfortable, you explain to them slowly why you're doing what you're doing, what features are getting enhanced by what, applications, why they might need this. Like for someone for instance, for a wedding, someone that doesn't wear very much makeup, they're spending all this money on on these photos and everything. What we're doing is prepping them for that. We're making sure that they look appropriate through the lens, not just face to face. So with that being said, you need more formal application. Like Deanna's doing right now, she's lining Sarah's eye, which will make the color of her eye pop and stand out more, which will stand up to pictures and all the flashing of the photography. You need to be able to stand up to the gown and the hair. And if your face doesn't match that, then you're just gonna fall flat. You're gonna look washed out almost. So with someone that's natural, like I said, it's baby steps. Maybe
Right.
using powders instead of harsh liners, or a lighter mascara or a brown mascara instead of a black mascara.
Exactly.
Baby steps. But what I always say is, it almost takes like 7 days to get used to something you're not used to. If there's something that you're trying to transition yourself makeup-wise, I say do it every day. The first day you're gonna hate it, the second day you're gonna hate it.
I don't know if they'll hate it.
They feel very uncomfortable, and they just like, oh, well, this isn't me, this isn't me. By day 3, they're interested.
And
by day 4, they're thinking about it. By day 5, they're addicted. And by day 7, they can't live without the product. Like introducing eyeliner to someone, I always say it's a 7-day process. And then I say be vain, stare at yourself.
Exactly. What? Great. So Maya, tell me, is it the makeup first and then the hair, or should they do the hair and then the makeup? I mean, what is the process when you guys get together as a team?
It really depends. We have the availability to do either or. We don't have a preference to start. It's really what people feel comfortable with having done first, or as far as organization goes and time.
What do you think on trends now? What is the newest trend that you find the girls are asking for?
I think a lot of women are feeling more comfortable having more hair down. Not necessarily all down, but sometimes side swept is really beautiful, beachy. They want the look to be a little more relaxed.
Exactly, not so set looking.
Yeah, but also too, something that's really on trend is bringing back the old Hollywood glamour. That's actually one of the looks that Deanna is doing right now for Sarah. But, a lot of vintage hairstyles too are coming in, but still with a little bit of a relaxed feel, so it's not so stiff looking.
Right, because a lot of the girls, there's so many makeup artists out there, but you're bringing it to them, which I found is so special, because on a day that she's so rushed and she's at home and they're getting ready, for them to have to leave and go to a salon would be very difficult. Sometimes weddings are Sunday, especially other occasions. People are rushing from work and they have to go to occasion that night. For you to go right to their location, the hotels, you're there.
Yeah, it can be really difficult for people to coordinate getting everyone into one spot in a salon, especially in town. Sometimes parking is an issue. So it makes it really easy and comfortable for people to have us come to them.
I definitely want to say something about comfort, because instantly people walk into a salon, in my opinion, even
Right.
as confident as I am with my industry, get intimidated. They get a little bit, drawn back. They don't want to, they're not able to feel that they can physically say what they want. If they get a cut that they don't like, they're going to say they like it because they feel intimidated and almost, to say that they, with us, we're taking that aspect out. We're going into their environment, which makes them already comfortable for us to be there. And when we're there, we're just there, we're catering to them. They're going from, honestly, like their pajamas into a dress just straight down the aisle. We're doing everyone in the room, as far as you said, who does hair or makeup first. When we walk into the room and there's 7 girls there, we like bring a good time. We have upbeat energy,
Right.
We
Well, I know that. I can see
we
that.
have all the latest trends and
Break out in song in a minute.
right, and we sing and
Always.
dance. But like we have a ton of pictures, and like the girls just feel really comfortable with us. And we say right off the bat, if there's anything you don't like, please feel free to tell us. So we just want to make sure everybody is comfortable and everybody's happy with what they look like and feel like. It's not us being happy. It's not anything that is going to upset us if you don't like what we're producing. What we want to do is listen to what you want and give you exactly that look. Because when you feel like $1 million, that's what makes us feel like $1 million.
Well, you were also voted one of the best in Boston, right?
Yes, last year and this year we got best of 2011, 2012, best of weddings from theknot.com, and we got best of health and beauty from weddingwire.com this year as well.
Fantastic.
Which is a great accolade because it is voted on by local brides and people and clients that we've worked with, and we've gotten tons of referrals from just old brides or bridesmaids that now are brides, and it's like I get emails every other day. This one referred me because of this one, and I read a review here. So we've been in the industry. I for Beauty's now going on 6 years, and we have a lot of happy brides out there, and I pride myself on that.
Well, I think one of the things I got excited about your team, because you're a team,
Absolutely.
that many young brides have been very upset. They'll make an appointment with the salon. All of a sudden, that person is out sick, or they decide they're going down the Cape and they forgot. This has happened a lot, and brides get so nervous. What are they going to do? Oh my goodness! But with you guys, there's all of you, so you're all talented. You could do hair and makeup, so you can bounce around. If one of you got sick, the other girls can take over.
Well, I always say there's definitely no I for Beauty without all these talented girls. There would be no me without them, and I definitely have a rigorous process of getting you on staff. It's only because I have certain expectations of what I want people walking around saying that I for Beauty did.
Right.
And these girls have so much talent. It's amazing that I've gotten the opportunity to find these girls. It's taken me a while, and I won't let them go anywhere now that I have them. But the thing is, the beauty of I for Beauty is, yes, all these girls and myself, we're stylists, we're makeup artists, we freelance, we can cut, we can color, we can do all that. But what we're really catering to is hair and makeup, like updos, styling, and makeup. And that's what salons do on the side. Right. That's what our main focus is everyday people like you and me, and getting up and saying, I wish someone could do my makeup. A, we're affordable, and B, we'll come to you and do it and make you feel like that movie star feeling and give you that feel, because everybody deserves that. Like the biggest thing to me is when brides email me and they're like, do you have a minimum? Well, just because you have 2 people in your wedding party, does that make your day less special? Because you're still getting married.
Exactly.
Because I get so many people like, salons won't cater to me because we're not a big enough party. Well, that doesn't mean your day isn't big enough.
You're going to go whether it's one person, 2, or the whole wedding party, right?
We do everything. We cater to everyone. We've traveled all up and down New England. We go to Vermont. We go to the Cape. Newport, Rhode Island. I mean, I've been to Spain. I've been to London, Ireland.
Well, I think the nice thing too is, when you think about that morning, you wake up and that's the wedding day, or that's your special function day, and you have grandma needs to be done, mom needs to be done, the bridesmaids needs. But imagine having the convenience of having you right in your own home, like you say, go from your pajamas to the pretty dress and looking fantastic.
And it's the comfort, like I said, it's a big plan comfort. Like I know, like you can see it in people's body language.
It's intimate. And it's different than when you go into a salon. It's not all about you. There are other clients there. There are strangers there.
But now it's all about you because you're there for them. Right?
And it's just so many thank yous of how convenient it was, how great we are at what we do, and the fact that we listened, and if there was a problem, we'd tweak it, and there was just, it's always easy, you know, it's always like the lines of communications are opened. We make people feel comfortable to tell us what they want. And we've also learned language, like when people say this is what they want, they don't really mean that. So
yeah, you have to know how to interpret what people want, and also give people suggestions too, because some women aren't used to working with makeup or doing hair, so they don't really know what looks good on them. So it's important to be able to give some suggestions too.
So let's see what
Absolutely.
Deanna's doing a little bit there. Deanna, you want to explain a little bit of what's going on?
Well, Sarah has absolutely gorgeous blue eyes. You do. So what I did was I used a little bit of a shimmery, like frosted gold shadow on her lid. That orangey tone tends to make blue pop out really nicely. And then I did like a cat wing, added some lashes, did a little bit of contour in the crease just so it wasn't too flat. Popped out her cheekbones with some contour, and I gave her like a berry lip. Berry tends to pop
Now,
out
is this
blue as well.
a trend that you think is popular right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's very springy, it's very fresh. Like, you know, you have a little bit of drama on the eye because of the lashes and the wing, and then you have, you know, color is very big on the lip right now, too. So, not too overdone, but she looks glamorous at the same time.
Yeah,
Sarah
it's fresh
typically
and
wear
glamorous.
a lot of
It's
makeup.
beautiful.
Did she say? Did you
Sarah
guys talk
usually
about?
wears, you said you wear liner, right? Liner, mascara. Maybe not so much color on the lip, but I pushed her to do that.
Oh, we like
today.
it.
Yeah,
But it's
After Angelina Jolie,
it's really
everybody wants big
beautiful.
lips.
that's right.
So yeah, just very springy. It's, you know, what you're seeing a lot in, you know, magazines and on
Exactly.
TV and everything right now. So
Well, styling
Nice
comes
and
from the
fresh.
magazines anyway. I mean, girls bring in pictures, I'm
All the
sure.
time.
Yes,
I want to
all
look
the
like
time.
this, right?
Yes.
But the nice thing is you can create that whole look for her complete.
And well, the thing is too is that it's important to also know how to tailor a look to someone, because what they see in a magazine may not necessarily fit their personality or their facial structure,
Right.
and you have to know how to accommodate that.
Well, I think one of the things one of the brides told me about you is that she was having, you know, her photography done at Back Racks, which is a pre-photo, and she had to bring her dress on a rainy day down to Back Racks and go to the hairdressers. By the time she got there, her hair was a mess, her makeup was a mess because she had done it in the morning and then gone all the way into Boston. But the fact is that you could meet her there at Back Racks. So
Oh,
now
absolutely.
it's perfect because she's right there. As soon as her makeup's done, it's fresh and it's beautiful, and the photography's taken.
And there's no means to the end either. I mean,
Right.
we have different levels of packages. I mean, some girls just want us there to do the bridal party and, you know, get them in their dress, and then we'll be on our merry way. Some girls like to hold us and keep us through the ceremony, and we'll stay. We'll go. We've changed locations. I've been to 3 different locations for one wedding before. Like, there's no ends to the means. Like, we will travel if they want us to.
You had explained that you could stay, like, for example, a lot of the brides now want an updo for the first part of the ceremony. And then they want the hair down for disco dancing after and get wild. And they want that sophisticated look, but they want the fun look.
Yes.
So you can't do that alone. So your hair's been up and it's all pinned in an updo, and now you want to wear it down. You guys stay, right?
Right.
We do, yeah. We stay afterward. We can help the bride transition into a different hairstyle, a different makeup look.
I mean, and over the course of 6 years now, I've learned more about traditions and nationalities than I ever thought possible. Like, I've done Indian weddings, you know, Asian tea ceremonies. There's so many different, like, you know, traditions within religions that I've done all, you know, now at this
Depending.
point. Yeah, and we can cater to that. Because a lot of people, you know, an Asian eye is very different than, you know, an American eye. And
Exactly.
some people find that, you know, they can't do it properly. Like, all of my girls have been trained on all ethnicities, which is great because
Well,
we
the
don't-
Indian weddings, you really can get pretty creative.
well,
Yeah.
I've done like all the beadies and like the sari work and like, you know,
Oh,
all
okay.
like the hair pieces, and no matter what the brides want to incorporate, we can work with. Like, as far as hair pieces, I mean, we've made earrings into hair pieces. Like, we are very crafty people. We've taken things off shirts.
Resourceful,
And,
too.
I
Very
mean, and that's the
resourceful.
one thing that people always say is like they trust us. Like,
Right.
if there's something even that I might not, maybe I shouldn't say, I'll say it if I feel like I want it to be put out there. As far as like the style could be tweaked a little bit, or not insulting, but just to make it better.
Right.
And they feel the sense of honesty there, so they feel the sense of comfort. They feel like they can open up and be like, oh, I don't know if I like that or not. And it's nice because we make them feel that way.
Well, I think the hairpiece, you know, putting on a headpiece on a bride is very difficult because it doesn't stay on. If the hair is very silky and soft, it's very difficult. But having a professional there to get the headpiece on just perfectly, just before she has to go down the aisle, is one of the most important things, because so many girls just can't get it on. They don't know. Their hair is just so soft and blown dry, and all of a sudden, comb's unfitting.
Well, one of the benefits too with having professionals do your hair is that we know how to prep the hair so that it still looks silky and soft, but it's actually very secure and able to hold a headpiece too, without too many bobby pins or anything like that. You know, we don't like to see anything
Right.
sticking out. I'm kind of a stickler for bobby pins. They need to be hidden.
Exactly.
You know, you don't want to have this beautiful, elegant hairstyle and then have to see all these pins. So we know how to prep the hair. We know how to secure headpieces properly so that it just sort of looks like
Effortless,
it's there,
yeah.
you know.
Well, I remember a disaster, one major disaster that one of my brides had, that she really did not want to have her makeup done professionally, and she didn't want the salon to do it. And we said, you know, you really should, because it's important. You're going to be photographed more that day than any day from every angle. Well, she ended up having a girlfriend do it, who she said her girlfriend was great with makeup, but they used this whiteout for the eyes. And every single picture is totally ruined. There was nothing they could do. The photographer couldn't do it. They had whited out to, you know, cover spots in her eyes, but it was so poorly done because she didn't know how to blend it. So in all her pictures, she looked that way.
The thing too, though, is that, you know, there are lots of women who know how to do makeup for just daytime wear, even
Exactly.
evening wear, but there's a difference between daily makeup and doing makeup for photography, because lighting plays a part in it. I mean, you have to know.
Set the skin, prep the skin, prime
Yeah,
the skin.
you have to know what kind of tones to use that will help reflect light a little bit better.
Photographer once asked me, just based on this conversation, a photographer once asked me, he's like, he was taking some shots and I was, you know, prepping the bride and everything, and he's like, gosh, he's like, her makeup just looks amazing, and he's like, how do you match her skin so well? And I'm like, well,
You have to blend it.
you have to blend it, but you have to find the
Blending
proper
is
color.
it,
And
yeah.
he's like, I've done so many weddings when he's like, honest to God, he goes, they look dead. He's like, they look so much whiter than they actually are. And he goes, how do you fix that? I go, by insulting the makeup artist. I go, because clearly that makeup artist wasn't matching the skin correctly.
Exactly.
And there's ways to do that. There's ways to test. That's how we know. You know, you run a line from here to here, and if it blends through the neck, that's the color. You use 3 shades, and then you pick a light, medium, and a dark, and then you find the one that, like, there's things that we know. And, like, a lot of girls will say, you know, if they're sitting there, they'll be like, well, that's not how I do it. It's exactly right.
But you're right.
That's exactly
With the
right.
blending, many girls stop here and then it just doesn't blend
Right,
down,
right,
so
yeah.
that now they have like a mask on instead of the makeup going where it's supposed
Right.
to go.
And like she said, like, yes, we're there. My biggest thing is we're there, obviously, to make you look in the mirror and feel like $1,000,000. But your one keepsake are those photos. We are there to also make sure that you look fantastic in all of those photos you're spending all of that money on.
Now, when they consult with you before, you also mentioned that you have them recommend a tanning salon locally, right?
Yes, I work very closely with Glow on Waverly Oaks Road in Waltham. She's fantastic. The owners over there are just amazing. I send all my brides over there because most of them either want, you know, popular these days is spray tanning,
Right.
which people are very concerned with, looking orange and everything
Well, what
else.
does that get on the gown? That was it.
Right. Well, this is what we'd say. Like, if you were going to do a spray tan session, we'd definitely recommend like 4 to 5 days prior, because you want to you get your spray tan and you want to sit in it for about 24 hours.
Right.
And it will rub off a little bit. But if you go and get it done properly, there's no orange. You can pick your color, your tone.
Okay.
You can go shades, different, darker. This woman is fantastic. She does it herself. And if you want to do regular tanning, they have beds from levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, stand-ups, lay-downs. I send all my brides there that want to do preconditioning of their skin prior to the wedding. Whether their wedding be January or July, they all want to know what they should do before. And if they're going to spray tan, I always recommend 5 days prior, letting it sit on the skin for a day, then you rinse, and then come rehearsal dinner, you're ready to go. It shouldn't rub off on the dress. After day 2, you should be fine, because it's usually a 7-day wear for the spray tan, they say.
Well, you know, they should call you first for consultation, because I have so many horror stories of girls that didn't listen, or they'd wax their eyebrows
Oh,
the day before.
I always say, if you're going to try something,
right,
try
exactly.
it months before. Pre-try the trial.
Right.
And then,
Or
you
they
know,
go in a tanning booth and get burned, you know, and so all of a sudden now their face is swollen for the day of the wedding.
The one thing I can say is brides are definitely ask what I should do. What do you think is good? Which is great, because we do have the proper answers. Just as, like, you know, I want to do highlights. Should I do them 7 days before? I want to trim. Like, when would you recommend getting a trim for a bride?
Usually about 2 weeks, I would say, before the wedding, because hair takes a little bit of time to settle, and you
Exactly.
also want to make sure you have enough time in case the trim or the cut isn't ideal.
Right.
Sometimes hair can react differently at different times, and so, and also depending on who's cutting it, if it's a new stylist, someone who isn't used to your hair. So you want to allow for enough time for adjustments too, if anything needs to be made.
That's
But
great.
usually about 2 weeks, I would say,
have
before.
Sarah over there actually
Let's
getting
take a look.
started on some hair, so we wanted to show just a hot trend going on right now. This is kind of the starting of what we would call a side sweep, which is we were saying that, some girls really like to have the feeling of their hair up, but not all the way up, and it's
Yeah.
really loose and it's beachy and it's something that's going to travel over, and it's very elegant and soft. Like I said, we don't do anything too tight, nothing too sticky. The trend right now is very soft, very loose.
And I just twist
This
it
is
around.
a huge thing going on right now. What is this called, Sarah? Like, is
It's
this?
a way to get a beachy wave.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
just make sure you keep like at least an inch out at the end, so it's not as, I guess, Shirley Temple. It's not a perfect curl, and just do it each different way. Don't keep going
So
back.
you're not
Go-
clipping it inside then, right, Sarah?
No, I'm just wrapping it around.
And
the
when you
hair.
On
mean
the outside.
and when
can.
you say don't do it the same way, what do you mean by that?
I'll go backwards this way,
Yep.
wrapping around, and then the next one I might go forwards, so you're getting that tousled, beachy look.
So there's no like.
And I put a little bit of hairspray, and I do like dirty hair to work with. Up to you stay a lot better. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, a side sweep. So it will keep the length of our hair, which most brides like, or actually, I would say the grooms like the longer hair.
Yes.
That's a good point. It's a
They
good point
definitely
because
do.
a lot of the brides,
It all up.
when we ask them what they're thinking about, the first thing they'll say is, "Well, my fiance doesn't like this," or "My fiance doesn't like that." So we'll work with that, and then we have to ask them what they like because
Right.
it is also about them. But it's true, you want to make your man happy
Have it
too.
all off
But
your face too for those pictures. So we're gonna do the best of both worlds with that one. We call it the side sweep at Eye for Beauty, and I'm just gonna take all of her hair and have it lovely this way, just in case if she has a nice little back prom dress, or the
Wedding
wedding
dress.
gown can show off the back as well.
this is a great style as well. Like Yolanda was talking about transitioning. A lot of brides will go from either up to down or down to up.
love that.
This is a style that you can create on the side and you can keep down or you can pin up.
That's great.
And that's just like a totally different look. Like you said, if a bride wanted to go up or down, vice versa. This is a style that's very.
But having you
Or
there.
to take it all down, too.
Having you there
you know?
is so incredible. And even
Yeah.
I find if you stay, if they hire you to stay longer,
often.
it really works out really well because then they get sweaty and all people are kissing them and makeup gets all messed up.
Well, like
It's
a
true.
common question,
Yeah.
like if the girls don't have us there, like a common question is, what do I do if you're not there and this happens?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
If I cry, and we always say it's so funny
Mascara
when
runs.
girls get their makeup done or their hair done, they're like. And we're like, you can touch your face, you
Yeah.
can move, like they're just like, okay.
You don't have to be a robot.
Yeah,
It's
you can
totally
blow your
fine.
nose. And
Yeah.
So I always say, like if they're crying and stuff, like I can leave them with a little bit of a touch-up kit, and always suggest getting the lip gloss or the lipstick, just because you're kissing, you're eating, you're drinking, you're talking, and that's the stuff that's gonna move. Everything else is primed, prepped, water, like waterproof, everything. But we always say like dab up and in, just boot it right back into the lash line. You can't go wrong because then it won't go down. But
Well, it's so important because you don't just do weddings. I mean, she mentioned proms. We know proms. And there are so many affairs that go on in Boston. And you look at the society page, and these women have on dresses that are worth thousands of dollars. They've gone to this affair that's $500 a plate, and they don't fix their hair and their makeup.
Right.
It is amazing.
And it makes a really big difference.
It's amazing
It makes
to
a really
me.
big
If you're going to
difference.
buy a $5,000 dress, let's spell a couple $100
get
in
it
your
done,
face,
right? It's true.
Well,
Own
even,
the look.
even if you're going out for a special night,
That's
I
right.
mean,
All the time we
it's a
do
special
ladies.
night, and so it feels good to have somebody pamper you a little bit.
Well, we
and-
always say to
and
the
take care
bride,
of
like
us,
I know
and-
we don't just do brides, but we do a lot of brides, and we see on a regular basis brides every day. And our number one question when we do a trial is, so what are you doing tonight? And before they're done, most girls are like, oh, just going home. blah,
Oh,
blah.
no, they're
And
not.
then once they
Yeah.
look in the mirror, they're like, well, I'm going to. Yeah. So once they feel it, but that's just, why do I do what I do? Because I love that feeling.
Yes.
I love giving someone the opportunity to look at them in the mirror and just honestly feel good about themselves. And that to me is like the best feeling ever. That's why I pride myself on listening to what the client really wants, because they don't get this every day. This
Right,
is something special. They are spending money on it. And that to me,
But once they get used to it, they want it all the time.
addicted.
They do.
The comment comes, where can you come over every morning?
Exactly.
That comment every time.
And one of my favorites, I think Yolanda's was successful in selling dresses, is because we used to have the salon downstairs. So I would have the hairdresser come up, fix their hair, and put a little makeup before they tried on dresses.
No.
We actually
trend.
Dress look better.
This past weekend we did a trial, and the bride was going to her dress fitting right after,
So
which
she
was
purposely
brilliant.
made it,
That's
right.
the way
know?
it should be, yes.
Yeah, it was really.
Well, that's a
it
good
was really
suggestion,
brilliant.
though, that their trial should be the day they're going for their fitting, because now they can really see what they're going to look like that day.
Yeah, sometimes too what happens is that once, they come in and they have on sweatpants or,
Right.
just day clothes, and they have their hair and makeup done, and it can be a
Overwhelming.
little overwhelming for them to see themselves in full hair and makeup wearing a hooded sweatshirt, So it actually makes a really big difference once you put a dress on. Even sometimes we tell them, take a white sheet
Or a towel, and it'll
Exactly.
or a towel.
draw
and
back
hope,
the
like, it's-
intensity.
Yeah, it's going to make everything seem a little less
The
overwhelming.
other thing
and
that I
actually make you
loved when
feel
I
even
came
more
to
beautiful.
you and
Right.
talked to you was the fact that you had your before and after pictures, which people when they see taking a picture before and after, wow, I guess I do look a lot better. I gotta have this done more often.
It's true, though. People do. They say that all
The
the
before
time.
and afters are amazing. So we're really pleased. So let's take a look and see how that hairdo is coming out. Really pretty.
I know.
So
she has some
soft
gorgeous
and like,
hair,
well, she's
too.
got beautiful skin.
Now, would this work
Yes.
on any hair type, Sarah? Like length hair, or is there like?
Long would be best. I would definitely go longer for this style because that's kind of why we're doing this style, to show the length and give her the feeling of long hair, but still it's going to be off her face. And
And the beauty of all the girls here, any of the girls that work for me, these are just a couple, is if you come with nothing, we have all the suggestions in the world.
Oh, it's
If you come with everything, we can cater to that. But if you come clueless, like we are definitely good at what we do. We look at your face shape, we look at your body type, we look at the size of your, like the shape of your dress, how it's flowing, if there's straps, like we take all of that into consideration. It's not just like, oh, I want to feel pretty. Like there's things that, we cater to.
That's
So.
fantastic. And I love the side on this side too. I can see the beauty of
All
that.
the
She's showing
detail
the
and stuff,
details.
yeah.
Just wonderful.
A side sweep like this can work well with shorter hair also. It just wouldn't have the same flow at the bottom, but it would look more like a side swept, loose bun.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great looking.
Yeah, really pretty.
So now where do they find you? How do we get in touch
As far
with
as finding Eye for Beauty, you can definitely find us online at www.eyeforbeautybiz.com. We also have a Facebook page, which links off the website. You can find us on theknot.com. You can find us on weddingwire.com, Wedding Channel. We are absolutely everywhere you can think of in the wedding industry. But as far as the website, you can call the salon as well. It's at 617-209-8126. And like I said, you can shoot emails. You can find us on the web, Facebook. We are always around and available.
Oh, we're going to be looking forward to having the special occasion. If I look any better today, she did my makeup
And
today, and I'm very thrilled because the colors you blended with the gold, and it really is special. I mean, all my special affairs will be with you.
Yay.
So, but it's been great. It's been a joy to have all of you with
Thank
us.
you.
And it's a fantastic team, a
Thank you
great
so much.
idea.
Thank you.
And for all of you there and looking at home, thinking about, well, I have a party coming up on my reunion after so many years.
Reunions, we do
Reunion
reunions,
especially.
we do everything. Prom, reunions,
I want to look
dinners.
like I did when I was in school. You got to do it. So
Contact Eye for Beauty.
Contact Eye
We
for
bring the
Beauty.
salon to you.
Fantastic. It's a very special, special thing for everyone to have. And for that next event, Eye for Beauty is where it's at. And soon we'll be back with more wonderful glitz and glamour for you all. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to call Eye for Beauty.